Hello all, welcome back to Electro Study. In this session, I am going to discuss the last minute preparation of the subject High Voltage Engineering. So what are all the important topics you must cover before appearing for the examination? One more thing I want to add this point. If you cover this subject, I am going to confirm that you will get at least above 50%. I'm sure, damn sure about that. Let's get started. Before moving on to the different important questions related to high voltage engineering, which is unavoidable, I wanted to give some tips for clearing the examination. First of all, you have to plan your examination very well. As soon as you receive the question paper, you have to see what are all the questions have been asked. Based on that, you just allowed which you have to give the more preference, which you can write later. Another one is drawing the circuit diagram is very essential. Along with that, you have to label. Moreover, try to add maximum number of equations. Suppose a question were asked regarding explain the Townsend's theory. In that, whenever you are asking such kind of questions, you have to mention about the current growth equation. Fine. I is equal to I naught into e to the power alpha d. What is d? You have to mention. What is I naught? Another one is try to follow this practice. Underline the important points. As soon as you prepare essay type questions, try to underline the important points. Moreover, just write the answer in point wise. In spite of describing a lot, try to mention the points so that it will be very easy for the evaluator to give the marks. So time management is quite essential. Suppose 3 hours of examination, plan such a way that you can answer every question. Then you have to mention the question numbering. Suppose a question which is repeated, which is asked out of syllabus, if you write the question number, you may get the marks. That is the strategy. So try to follow this strategy definitely. I'm sure that you can have a certain improvement after completion or after following these tips. Our first module is breakdown phenomenon of gaseous dielectric material, then solid dielectric material and liquid dielectric material. I have listed out 7 important questions based on module 1. So first question is Townsend's current growth equation. You can expect the derivation. So you have to derive I is equal to I naught into e to the power alpha d. Okay. So like that you have to derive. So what is I naught? Then what is alpha? Fine. What is d? So all the points you have to elaborate. So apart from this particular derivation, you may get the question like, what are the drawbacks of Townsend's theory? Limitations. You may get the question second limitations. Okay. Limitations of Townsend's theory. Limitations or drawbacks. So another important question is the Paschen's law. Derive an expression for that particular Paschen's law. That is equal to breakdown voltage is the function of product of the pressure and distance. So you have to derive this. Possible, draw the curve also, Paschen's curve. Try to draw the Paschen's curve. Another one is called the streamer theory of breakdown. So you need to mention about what is streamer theory. What are the different processes involved in streamer theory of breakdown in gaseous dielectric material. So another important question, fourth one is related to the solid dielectric material. So you have to explain the electromechanical breakdown with the necessary equation. Also the thermal breakdown. What are the conditions for thermal breakdown? You have to explain with the equations. Fifth question is the questions related to liquid dielectric material. Explain the cavitations and bubbles theory. That is very important question. Don't leave this particular question. Remaining are general questions which you might have studied. Sixth one, explain the need for high voltage laboratory. What is the purpose? Laboratory itself, the main purpose is for testing only. Apart from that, you can go for real-time implementation. You can go for design. So understanding the performance, identifying the performance parameters. Fine. All the things you can determine in HV laboratory. Another question is also you must have studied in power system. What is the purpose of high voltage power transmission? The main purpose of high voltage power transmission is to minimize the losses. What is the benefit of minimizing the losses? The benefit of minimizing the losses are you can increase the efficiency. Fine. It is better to explain with the help of equations. So these are the important questions which you can expect it from module 1. So try to keep in your mind these particular points. So before revising or studying, fine. let us discuss about module 2. So in module 2, you are mainly studying about high voltage DC generation, AC generation, and impulse voltage generation. So the first expected question is, explain cascaded transformers. So your diagram is compulsory. Okay, no examiner will give without diagram. Diagram plus explanation, description, brief description. All right. Another question is related to resonant transformer. You have to understand the formulas. So then only you can solve the problems. Then in Tesla coil, you can explain. You can get the question like explain the working of Tesla coil. How do you generate high voltage AC with a high frequency using Tesla coil? Apart from that, there are certain equations. Try to remember those equations. If you know the equation properly, definitely you can solve the problem. Another important method is how to produce HVDC using one device called Cockcroft Walton type DC set. Most probably you will get numerical example. Another important question is the question from impulse generator. So what do you mean by multi-stage impulse generator? It is also known as the Marx generator. Okay. Marx generator. Okay. So you have to explain about the multi-stage impulse generator. So I'm sure that at least you will be getting these kind of questions in your university examination. It is sure that because I have checked previous year question papers several times. From that, I consolidated these important points, which is most likely expected. Moving on to module 3. Module 3 deals with HV measurement. So you need to prepare very well on electrostatic voltmeter, the working principle, then construction. Apart from that, one mathematical equation is also included. Then advantages and disadvantages. You may get 10 marks at least. So if you prepare well, you will be getting 10 marks. Then generating voltmeter is also another important device. So here you may get the derivation. How do you measure the RMS value of current? Okay. Then you will be getting the theory part, the problem also will be getting numericals, then derivation. All right. Then third question is the different type of voltage divider. You have to study about the resistive potential divider, then the capacitive type potential divider, then mixed RC type potential divider. These three types you have to study. At least you will be getting theoretical question. Then explain the spear gap measurement. So in that, what you are expected to do is you have to study different factors, various factors which are affecting the spear gap measurement. Apart from that, you need to calculate one correction factor. There is one correction factor will be available, K, correction factor. Identify the value of correction factor. Based on that, you can determine the breakdown strength. So one problem you can expect. Same problem you are working out in HV laboratory. High voltage laboratory, you will be doing that. Then question number 5, Rogowski coil. So you have to elaborate what is Rogowski coil, importance of Rogowski coil, circuit diagram with the electronic interface. Fine. There are integrated. You are adding the integrator along with those particular set coil. You have to explain the phenomenon of mutual induction with equation. All right. So these are the probable questions you can expect from module 3, which is quite simple. Even if you prepare 3 hours, definitely you can study or entire topic within less than 3 hours. I'm not saying about 3 hours, less than 3 hours. Then moving on to module 4. Module 4 is mainly dealing with the overvoltage phenomenon. This module, you can expect a lot of theory question. Explain the lightning phenomenon with the help of diagrams and waveforms. Then principle of insulation coordination. In that you have to explain about basic insulation level, BIL. What are the different standards? Then types of lightning arresters. Okay, what you can see, you can recall like the horn arrestor, horn type arrestor. Fine. Like that, you have to prepare the list and explain each. If you can add the diagrams, that will be really good. Causes of overvoltage phenomenon that you have to explain. What are the causes of creating the overvoltage phenomenon? Okay. So you are learning different type of effects in transmission and distribution. Fine. So that point also you can add. So refer the transmission and distribution subject. Then problem on surge impedance loading. Okay, what is SIL means surge impedance loading. In that you will be studying about characteristics impedance, how to calculate characteristics impedance, square root of L by C. Such kind of numerical example you have to recall always, because those equations will be helpful for your competitive examination also. Now I'll be discussing about the important topics which you have to cover in module 5. First in the foremost, very important topic, shearing splits. How do we measure dielectric loss? How do we measure dielectric loss using shearing splits? You should know how to balance the bridge. So anyway, you are studying Wheatstone bridge now. How to balance the bridge, you must have known. Then theory part you can expect. Similarly, problematic part also you can expect. As soon as you receive the problem, try to draw the bridge diagram. That is very important. From that, you have to balance, separate, find out the value of unknown resistor and unknown capacitor. Then partial discharge. What is partial discharge? What is the reason for causing the partial discharge? Explain with the neat diagrams, with the typical layouts, you can explain. Some models are given, some demo slides are given in my previous videos. You can go through that. The links are available in your description box. Then there are different type of conventional testings are available. You have to study about testing of circuit breaker, testing procedures of cables, then surge arresters, then the radio interference or EMI, electromagnetic interference testing. All those things you have to study. So all the type of questions which is asked from module 5 is purely theory. It's a more number of points you have to recall. That is only the difficulty. Initially what you can do is prepare test. Suppose I am asking the different type of testing on circuit breaker. So you can explain about synthetic testing. In that, what are the different type of subclassification? Initially you write the points, later you try to elaborate. So without point, nobody gives the marks. Okay, no one gives the marks without any writing the points. Try to highlight the heading. Heading is very important. All right. So whatever the points are there, you try to include in your answer book and try to elaborate it accordingly. Okay, for 10 marks, at least 2 pages are needed. For 5 marks, at least you have to fill 1 page. Okay, it's not mandatory, but try to follow that strategy. So, okay, I hope you have got an idea how to prepare for examination, especially for the subject high voltage engineering. So I have given the tips initially. Later, I have explained different questions, different probable questions asked from respective modules. So prepare very well. I'm sure that within 6 hours, if you sit properly, you can study all the questions very clearly. There is no doubt in that. Fine. Wish you all the best. Try your level best. Thank you for watching this video.